Okay, welcome to Developer Diary 1. What we're going to do today is something that a few of our customers have asked for, and from my point of view it's a bit of fun, and that's to put a Garmin G1000 option into the BD-5. Now this will be completely unrealistic, but the joy of flight sim is that you can stretch your imagination a bit, and this unit will feature in the upcoming BD-5 update. So, and as much as everybody wants to look at the F14, I thought I'd start with something a little bit different. Now, the developer diaries that we'll be recording will cover a wide variety of things, not just 3ds Max, but artwork, painting gauges, XML code. Basically, as I work on planes, I'm going to do 10-minute snippets, upload them to YouTube, so you can see them on our Facebook page, on our website, on our forums, and hopefully, for the most part, it'll give people an insight to what we do behind the scenes when I'm not answering emails, and yeah, be informative as much as I can be. Now, I want to point out first of all, I am not hugely comfortable with speaking online, so I apologise if it starts getting monotonous. But hey, you know, that's the way of things. Um, Hopefully it will get better as time goes on. So, without further ado, let's start fiddling with this. So, first things first, I need to get rid of all the ancillary stuff. All I really need is the basic instrument panel, because that's all I'm fiddling with at the moment. So we'll just select there. I'll just quickly switch to wireframe view. As you can see, all the white section is the selected area. We will come across to here, find the hide unselected button. When I press it, it will basically just hide everything else on the screen apart from what the cursor is currently selected, in this case the cockpit object. So we'll do that, and there we go, there's our cockpit shell. Kind of fun really when you think about it. Okay, and I'll just quickly switch to object color, and we'll change the color. Ew, maybe not lime green. Oh, I think that's even worse. Okay, so what I want to do now is we're going to import the G1000, see how she fits on there. Before I do that, I want to break apart that section. So, as far as 3D modeling is concerned, we have, okay, in my understanding, a model is broken up into various sections. You have an element, so for example, you have your object, which in this case is a cockpit. The cockpit is then broken down into several elements. As you can see, I'm clicking on the various parts in the cockpit, and it's selecting the various elements and lighting them up in red. From an element, they're then broken down into polygons, which can be shapes made up of various triangles, as you can see there, a border, which probably, oh, wrong button, can be seen on wireframe view there. You can see where the red outline is. The edge would be small subsections of a border, and of course the lowest possible denominator of vertices. Each one of these blue dots represents a vertex. Simple as that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is select the instrument panel, because that's all I really need, and we'll detach that from the object. We'll call it panel. Done. Okay, now I can select my panel now, and we'll go and hide everything else, so we're just left with that. I'll turn my grid on, press F for front view, zoom in, there we go. That's essentially the instrument panel of the BD-5J all cut out, ready to go. So what I need to do now is I'm going to import, here's one I made earlier, merge BD-5. What am I looking for? Beta maps. I'll put it here somewhere. G1000. Now this is a specially customized G1000. I'll use the scene material. Okay, this is a specialized G1000 that we took out the DA42, put in the Christian Eagle, and now we're going to put in here. Now, in reality, the G1000 is far larger than that could possibly fit in the BD-5. But again, never let realism get in the way of a bit of fun. Okay. So basically, I'm just rotating this to try and get it as close to vertical as I possibly can off the top of my head. And we're going to move it across. It's here. And I'll lay it just sunk in there. Okay. Now, as you can see, it's much larger. So I have two options. I can either scale it down like so till it fits, or I can just make use of one, either the PFD or the MFD. And as I'm not sure which one to do, we'll hide that. We'll save that part, so save selected. G1000 MFD. Okay. Delete that. Okay. So I shall move this across and center it. And yes, I know the panel is off center to the aircraft. Okay. Now, we've got that there, so I'm going to group that as a single object. Now, grouping is different to attaching. So, for example, a group would be quite simply a group of smaller objects. So when I click it with the mouse, it selects all the objects in the group. If I was to say attach the G1000 to the instrument panel, it would inherit the materials, it would inherit all kinds of stuff. So for our purposes, we're just going to stick with grouping that for the time being. And we will unhide everything. Yep. There's the back of the plane. Now you can see the G1000's there, and there's lots of other gauges around. So what I need to do next is make sure that I can still operate the plane. So I need to have all my switches in the correct positions. Get rid of that. Oh no, okay. Let's just select all this lot. Okay, we'll hide everything else. This is where I just go around hiding various parts that don't necessarily need to be there. Now we don't need that GPS. And again, this is just a simple matter of selecting various parts. Now I don't know what that is. I think that's EGT, so I'll leave that there.